Well, hi group. Happy Friday. I'm glad we made it again, back to another session, number 3, to our peer pressure group for today. I would like to first kind of go around and ask you by a show of fingers, how has your day been going? So for instance, if you've been having a great day, I want you to give me 5 fingers, like it's going excellently. And if you're not having such a good day, just give me 1 finger. Index finger would do. Or anywhere in between there. So why don't you go ahead and right now and just give me, from a number of fingers, indicate how well your day's been going so far. All right. Well, my day's been going excellent. I'm going to give a 5. Today, for me, it's Friday. I get to go home, and I get to go home and relax, and I'm going to go out to an Angels baseball game. So I'm very happy to be leaving today. Anybody like to share? It's just voluntary. Anybody like to share why you gave your day a number 1 through 5?
Oh.
Yeah?
I gave myself a 3 because I needed to catch up on work during lunch, so I didn't get to have lunch today.
Oh, okay. But you did catch up on your work?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, so a good and a bad.
Yeah.
Kind of. Anybody else like to share how their day's going?
I didn't sleep well last night. I pulled a muscle, so I'm in pain, and I have to study for a test, and I'm just grouchy.
Oh, no. Well, you have the weekend to catch up, right? And rest?
No, I have a lot of work to do.
Okay, it's going to be a long weekend then.
Yes, so I'm upset.
Okay, how about next weekend?
It'll be the same. Very busy. I have too many classes, so I have to do a lot of work.
Well, Christmas break is only 8 short weeks
I'm
away.
waiting for that one.
Well, okay, so things are looking up in 8 weeks.
Yes,
Well,
but for today, yes, I'm at 1.
okay, well, hopefully next week it'll be a 2 or higher.
Okay.
All right, anybody else?
I gave my day a 3 today. I had a test that I thought I was ready for, and when I sat down to take it, I could not remember anything. So I didn't do so well on it. So it's a 3 because at least I know what I need to work on, but at the same time I got a really bad grade.
Well, hopefully your teacher will allow you to make it up. Is that the policy in the class?
Sometimes, but I think I need to talk to her, and I'll talk to her about it, but I'm hoping she gives me that chance.
Okay, sounds like a good plan. Joy, you want to share?
Yeah, I'm tired, but it was an okay day.
Okay.
Nothing special.
All right, just an average day.
Yes.
Okay, looking forward to the weekend then?
Yes.
I think we all are. Good thing. All right, well, let's go ahead and review group norms. Really, we just want to review just one, I think, for now. I think you guys have these down perfectly. How about confidentiality? Who would like to share out what our rule is and norm is about confidentiality? Joy?
All right, so it means that whatever we talk about in our session stays just with this group. We don't talk about it with anybody else on the phone or online or speaking with anyone. Just keep it here.
That sounds like a good one to me. Is everybody remember that one in agreement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's said here stays here. That sounds like a good one.
Sounds like a Vegas.
Okay, that's right. Okay, well, let's summarize what we did last time. Last time we were taking a look at certain aspects of peer pressure, and we actually were writing some of our answers in different colors here. So why don't we just kind of review from our paper from last week, kind of like our thinking and where we're heading today. So one of the first questions that I asked you as one of our goals was we were kind of making a list about why students actually give in to peer pressure. So who remembers, what color did we write that in?
We wrote that in black.
Okay, so why don't you guys read, just to catch up? Why don't we each read one? What are some common reasons that students give into peer pressure right here? Yes?
You don't want to be left out.
Okay, not being left out, common feeling.
They want to keep their friends.
Keep friends, yeah.
You don't want to hurt someone's feelings.
Okay,
Because I don't want anyone to look at me funny.
okay. That sounds fair. We got plenty more here, but that gives us kind of an idea of like the reasons that us as kids, or you as kids, sometimes give into peer pressure. The next goal that we did last week, or had last week, was how do you feel when you give into peer pressure? So we were kind of going over the emotions, the emotional impact of giving into it. What color was that?
Red, I think. Maybe blue.
Blue.
It was blue, okay. So what were some of the words you guys wrote down? So how do you guys feel when you give into peer pressure?
Guilty?
Okay, sometimes guilty, good.
Stupid.
Stupid,
Angry.
angry,
Embarrassed.
Okay, embarrassed. I remember, I think I said powerless. I just sometimes feel like somebody's taking my power away from me. All right, well then, sometimes we experience something and we get this emotional impact like we just discussed, and it's going to affect our behavior. And I think that's the last one is red. So how do we act out these feelings sometimes once we give in to peer pressure? What do we write?
That you boss everyone around.
Okay, bossing people around.
Short temper?
Short temper.
I don't want to talk to my parents or
Okay.
anyone else.
Silent treatment. Okay.
I feel anxious, and when I feel anxious, I sometimes overreact.
Okay, that sounds good. So is there a connection between how we feel and sometimes how we act? Is there a connection there?
Yes.
Absolutely. So what do we need to do to change these feelings? What do we have to do?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, don't give in to peer pressure. And that's one of our goals this week is that we're going to be actually taking a look at common experiences. One goal is taking a look at common experience that high school students have, types of common peer pressure. And then we're going to be taking a look at strategies that you guys have used in the past successfully. We'll make a list of successful strategies that actually we can employ and we can use to actually resist peer pressure. How does that sound?
Okay.
Okay. Before we do that, why don't we take a look at our homework from last week? 'Cause I asked you guys to go ahead and log, some information regarding peer pressure. And you had to describe peer pressure, whether it was positive or negative, and whether you gave into that peer pressure and how it made you feel and if it affected your actions. And if you could do it over, what could you do differently? Anybody like to volunteer? One. Just give me one experience that you may have had last week. Yeah?
Oh, okay. Last week, my friends were ditching class and they asked me to join in.
Okay.
I would consider that to be a negative peer pressure, and I did give in.
You did.
So I did.
So you did ditch.
Yes, I did.
Uh-oh.
It made me feel really guilty.
Okay. And now if you could do it over again, what would you do?
I would speak out and just say no
Yeah.
next time and maybe consider the consequences first.
Okay, that sounds like a smart plan. How did it make you, what you were feeling guilty, did that impact your actions towards others in any way?
Yes, I didn't want to speak to anyone at home
Okay.
because I didn't want anyone to find out.
Oh, okay. Maybe you have a guilty face sometimes. Maybe your parents will know. They know you best, huh?
Yes.
That sounds good. Anybody else like to share a peer pressure experience from last week?
I will.
Okay.
So a friend of mine wanted me to go with her up to a girl and basically get mad at her for talking to her, this friend's boyfriend. And so it's negative, obviously, because it's bullying somebody. And I did give in. And at first, I kind of enjoyed it because I don't like her either. But then I felt really bad because I thought about the group and I realized I just fell into peer pressure. So I did the wrong thing. And if I could do it again, I would either just tell my friend that I wouldn't do it, or I would just tell the friend, let's just ignore her because, it's better just not talk to her. So I
Okay.
wish I had done that.
Okay. Good. Anybody else?
My friend called me. She wanted to study for the test. And even though I didn't want to, I said, okay. It was kind of bad because I was in a bad mood. I did not want to study, and then now I was just there just to be there. So
Okay.
it was kind of, I don't even know if it's positive or negative because...
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You were studying, but you didn't want to be there.
Exactly.
Mm.
So how could I have done something different? Well, next time I probably need to speak up and say, no, I don't feel like studying today, and then you can study on your own.
Okay, that
But I
sounds
didn't
fair.
want her to be mad, so I went.
That sounds like a good plan. You want to share?
Sure. So I had to study for a test, but a friend of mine called me and said, hey, let's go to the volleyball game. So I figured, I'm not going to do it. I need to study. I need to prepare. But then at the last minute, I figured that if I didn't go, maybe they would stop asking me to go. And, I didn't want to be excluded from the group. So I went and I didn't study. So it was a negative experience. I did give in, obviously. At first, it was fun because I figured too, I kind of deserve a break and I've been working really hard. But when I went to take my test, I did not do so well on it. So if I could have done something differently, I think in that case I would have said no, because I did not like how I felt after having that test grade.
Yeah, I
I was
bet.
pretty disappointed in myself.
All right, well, thank you for sharing. Sounds like you guys have had some experience with peer pressure this week, and this kind of gets us to our first goal. And you guys have already identified some common experiences that a high school student might have as far as peer pressure. You guys, let's come up with just a quick list of some other experiences, a common peer pressure experience that a high school student actually may face. Do you guys have any ideas? What would a high schooler face? What kind of peer pressure experiences?
Smoking.
Okay, so perhaps somebody coming up and asking them to smoke. Anything else?
Ditching classes.
Okay, ditching classes, fair enough.
Drinking.
Drinking.
They go to parties that you know you shouldn't go to.
Okay, so perhaps being peer pressured and going to a party that you know is probably not in your best interest. Good.
Trying drugs.
Okay, trying drugs. I think that might be a common peer pressure situation for sure.
Talking back to teachers.
Okay, talking back to teachers. Good.
Gossiping.
Uh-oh, gossiping. That's, yep, in high school for sure. You're going to be peer pressured into spreading those rumors around. Absolutely.
Especially on social media.
Oh, on social media,
yeah.
absolutely.
Posting stuff that you should.
Posting stuff, absolutely. Have you guys had experience with that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, I'm sure. Okay, well, let's get into goal number 2 then. And our goal 2 is to kind of take a look at what you guys have experienced and how you successfully were able to resist peer pressure. So think back to some of those situations when you were asked, to do something that perhaps you weren't willing to do, didn't want to do, but maybe you did give in, maybe you didn't. But what we're looking for is the ones where you didn't give in to peer pressure. What strategy did you successfully use to actually resist that peer pressure? Anybody have any ideas? Because we need to make a list. What I want you to do is go ahead and flip your paper over, your homework paper, and we're going to make a list of some successful strategies that we might be able to use in the future to resist peer pressure. What kind of strategies? What do you guys think? Think back to your own lives and your own experiences. Anybody have any experiences and what they've used successfully in the past? Man.
Sometimes I say that my parents are making me go somewhere or do something so that that way they don't give me a hard time about it.
Okay, good excuse. Parents as an excuse. I think we can write that down. Anybody else have any ways that you used in the past to resist peer pressure? Yeah?
Maybe just tell them that you'll answer them later, and then you can think of something if you can't think of it on the spot, so you can like delay the answer.
Oh, a delaying tactic. I like it. So maybe delay to get back to you kind of thing, huh?
Yeah.
Let you know.
Maybe get away from the pressure zone.
Okay.
You know that group of students are always ditching class, and try to stay away from that.
Oh, I see. Just maybe even look for new friends then,
Yeah.
perhaps. Don't get around the people that you know are going to ask you to do things that are going to be uncomfortable. Anything else?
I have suggestions to do other stuff instead of just doing what they ask me to do.
Oh, I see. So instead of suggesting something else, so let's say that they want you to ditch perhaps maybe 4th period, and you're like, no, let's just do it. We'll do it after school. Is that what you're talking about? I think that's a good idea too. Okay, I think we have a good enough list for right now. Anyway, what our next activity is going to be is a little role-playing activity, and what I want you guys to do is that you two are going to get together, and you're going to come up with one of those common experiences that we just talked about that a high schooler might face. You two are going to do the same thing, and you're going to create a scenario, and you're going to use one of the listed or maybe another idea that you might have to resist that peer pressure. Does that sound like a good plan for everybody?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to go ahead and talk to each other about what you would want to do.
So I'm going to smoking.
And I'll be one meeting.
Okay. That sounds good.
Are you going to suggest something?
Are you guys ready?
I think we are.
Should we have a volunteer who would like to go first? Which group?
Want to go first?
Okay, thank you, thank you. Awesome. Okay, you guys can demonstrate right here.
Okay, so we are going to demonstrate smoking as peer pressure. So I'll be smoking. Hey, Joe. Joe, would you like to try some today?
Oh, no thanks. I don't really want to.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you know what? I have asthma and I'll have an asthma attack if I even I really actually don't want to be close to it, but I can't smoke.
Well, yeah, but asthma's not cool. Smoking is cool.
Yeah, but if I go to the doctor, he's going to know what I did and then my mom will ground me forever, so it's not worth it to me.
Okay, I guess I understand.
Okay, good job. That sounds great. Good job. All right, why don't we have the next group pop up?
Oh, I don't think I can come out with something.
So hey, so I was thinking, we're not doing anything fourth period today because it's Friday, we have a sub. When do we ditch and go to the movies?
That sounds tempting, but we really need to study for this.
I know, but we can do that after.
When?
It's Friday, we have a lot of time today.
No, I have a lot of things to do. Maybe next time.
Like what? What's so important? Come on.
My grade is important.
I know, but I will help you. I'll help you study.
How are you going to help me?
I'll come home with you and we'll study the rest of the night.
Oh, God. You are too much. No, I can't do it. Seriously. If my mom finds out, I'm going to be in trouble. I really can't. I need to get my grade up. I have to study.
Fine, only because I know your mom and I know she'll be really mad.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, great job. Great job. All right. All right. So, why do you guys think that we actually practiced doing this? Why? What do you think? Is there anything positive that can happen as a result of practicing what we just did?
I think that by practicing, it becomes a lot easier and you become more comfortable with actually saying no when you're in the real situation.
Absolutely. I think practice makes perfect in this case. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's just kind of summarize what we learned today. What did we learn today? What was the first thing? What was our first goal? Our first goal was talking about common experiences that a high schooler might face as far as peer pressure. Then we talked about some techniques, and then you guys demonstrated that perfectly. Awesome. All right, well, that's about all we have today. Let's just go over our homework once more. And what I want you guys to do is to go ahead, and I want you guys to continue filling this out. And what I would like you guys to do is to work on using and incorporating those techniques that we learned today to resist peer pressure. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right, next week we'll check back and to see how successful you were using these techniques. All right then, you guys have a great weekend.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
You too.
All right, thank you.